Jack's wife, Anna, slid divorce papers across the kitchen counter with a smug smile, expecting him to crumble. Instead, he signed them without a word, his calm masking a plan months in the making. What Anna didn't know was that Jack had been tracking her lies. Her world was about to unravel in ways she never saw coming. Jack Morales sipped his coffee, the mug's warmth steadying his hand as Anna slid a stack of divorce papers across the kitchen counter. Her lips curled into a practiced smirk, eyes glinting with the confidence of someone who'd rehearsed this moment. The papers, crisp and marked with yellow sticky notes, sat next to his coffee like a challenge. Jack, a 38-year-old IT consultant who built secure network for Miami startups, scanned the documents without flinching. Anna expected tears, pleas, maybe a shouting match. Instead, he set the mug down, picked up the pen she'd placed nearby, and signed the first page. His signature was deliberate, unhesitating. "Done," he said, voice calm as he flipped to the next marked page. Anna's smirk faltered. She shifted her weight, gripping her water bottle, the cap clicking as she twisted it nervously. "That's it?" she asked, her tone sharper than intended. Jack didn't look up, signing the next page. "You want this, Anna? I'm giving it to you." The kitchen clock ticked louder in the silence that followed. Anna, 35, a marketing exec who thrived on control, hadn't anticipated this. She planned for drama, not his quiet efficiency. Jack had known something was off for months. 6 months ago, he'd noticed charges on their joint credit card. Lunch at a Brickell bistro he'd never visited, a boutique hotel booking downtown. Anna's yoga retreats, always vaguely explained, started stretching into late evenings. Her phone, once left carelessly on the counter, now stayed glued to her hand, screen down. Jack, whose job was spotting patterns in data, didn't need to confront her. The evidence piled up silently. GPS logs from her car showing trips to a Coconut Grove condo, texts she deleted but didn't know synced to their shared cloud. The name Diego Ruiz, a 28-year-old personal trainer, surfaced in those digital trails. He signed a final page and slid the papers back to her. All set. Anna stared, mouth slightly open, as if waiting for him to crack. Jack picked up his coffee and took another sip. "Anything else?" he asked, his tone neutral but pointed. She grabbed the papers, her movements jerky, and stormed out of the kitchen. Her footsteps echoed up the stairs, followed by the slam of their bedroom door. Jack exhaled, the weight of months of suspicion lifting. He wasn't angry, just ready for what came next. Later that morning, Jack drove to his office in Wynwood, where his small team was troubleshooting a client server. His phone buzzed with a text from Ethan, his 22-year-old son, an app developer in Orlando. "Mom called. Said you're getting divorced. You okay?" Jack smiled faintly, typing back, "Better than okay. Call me later." Ethan, who'd grown up with Jack's ex-wife Linda in Phoenix, had his father's knack for cutting through noise to find truth. Jack knew he'd want the full story soon. At the office, Jack dove into work, rerouting a client's network to block a security breach. His focus was surgical, a stark contrast to the chaos Anna thought she'd unleashed. He'd already leased a loft in Brickell, a corner unit with floor-to-ceiling windows. Tonight, he'd start moving his essentials, his dad's old toolbox, a signed Marlins baseball, his triple monitor setup for managing client accounts. The house, the furniture, the shared life. He'd leave it all to Anna. Clean breaks were his style. By noon, Anna was at Bella Vista, a trendy Coconut Grove brunch spot, spinning her story to her friends. Jack knew because Sophia, the one friend who'd always liked him, texted him a heads up. "She's saying you didn't even fight for her. Heads up, she's not done." Jack nodded to himself, saving the text. Anna wanted a spectacle, but he'd give her something else entirely, a lesson in consequences delivered without a single raised voice. Jack Morales loaded the last box into his truck, the engine humming as he pulled away from the Miami house he'd shared with Anna for 15 years. His new Brickell loft awaited, a sanctuary of clean lines and purpose. In a box, his father's toolbox, a signed Marlins baseball, and his triple monitor rig, everything he needed to rebuild. He left behind a house's clutter, from the leather couch to Anna's curated kitchen gadgets, severing ties with surgical precision. At the loft, he set up his office first, monitors glowing as he synced client data, his focus unshaken by the morning's divorce papers. Anna, meanwhile, was at Bella Vista, her voice carrying over mimosas as she spun a tale of Jack's indifference to her friends. Sophia, the group's quiet observer, texted Jack a photo of the brunch, Anna gesturing animatedly, her friends nodding in sympathy. "She's saying you gave up without a fight," Sophia wrote. Jack saved the message, his mind already mapping next steps. Anna's narrative needed an audience, but he'd let her perform while he worked in shadows. By evening, Jack was settled in the loft, running diagnostics for a client cybersecurity overhaul. His phone buzzed. Ethan, his 22-year-old son, calling from Orlando. "Got a flight booked for tomorrow," Ethan said, his voice sharp with curiosity. "Mom's version sounds like a PR campaign. What's the real story?" Jack leaned back, glancing at the city lights beyond his window. "She's been seeing Diego Ruiz, a trainer. Found hotel charges, GPS logs, texts. I didn't confront her. Let her think she's in control." Ethan whistled. "Cold-blooded, Dad. I'm in." The next morning, Ethan arrived at Miami International, his laptop bag slung over his shoulder, radiating the confidence of a young entrepreneur. Jack met him at the curb, and they drove to the loft in comfortable silence. Ethan surveyed the space, nodding approval. "No nonsense, just function. You're already moving on." They spent the day working side by side, Jack securing a startup's network, Ethan coding an app update. Between tasks, Jack shared the evidence. Credit card statements showing Anna's lunches at upscale bistros, GPS data pinning her car at Diego's condo, deleted messages recovered from their cloud. Ethan's eyes narrowed. "She thought you beg. You're playing chess while she's playing drama." Anna's text started that afternoon, small probes disguised as practical questions. "Where's the cable box manual?" she asked, though Jack knew it was in the TV stand drawer she'd organized. He replied curtly, "Check the drawer." Another text followed. "Did you take the garage remote?" Jack answered, "Your glove compartment." Each response was polite, final, giving her no opening. Anna's frustration seeped through her words. She wanted a reaction, but Jack offered only facts. At Bella Vista, Anna's brunch crew reconvened, her story growing bolder. Sophia, discreetly recording, sent Jack an audio clip. Anna's voice dripped with self-pity. He didn't even ask why, just signed and walked away like I meant nothing. Her friends murmured support, but Sophia's message to Jack read, "She's rewriting history. Watch your back." Jack listened to the clip, noting Anna's escalation. She was building a case, but he had the truth and the data. That night, Jack and Ethan grabbed tacos at a food truck near the loft. Ethan, slicing through his El Pastor, asked, "What's your end game? You've got the proof. Why not call her out?" Jack shook his head. "Confrontation gives her power. She wants to fight to fuel her victim act. I'm letting her unravel herself." Ethan grinned, recognizing the strategy. "You're scary when you're quiet, Dad." Jack's phone pinged. A new charge on Anna's credit card, another hotel booking. He showed Ethan, who raised an eyebrow. "She's still at it?" "Bold." Jack's next move was already in motion. He'd contacted a lawyer, not to fight the divorce, but to protect his assets. His business, his savings, his future, they were locked down. Anna could keep the house, but she'd soon discover the mortgage paperwork required his signature for any sale. He hadn't planned to trap her, but he'd ensured she'd face the consequences of her choices. As Jack and Ethan walked back to the loft, the Miami skyline glittering, Jack felt a spark of anticipation. Anna's world was about to shift, and he wouldn't need to say a word to make it happen. Jack Morales sat at his Brickell Loft's dining table, debugging a client's encryption protocol, when his phone buzzed with a call from an unknown number. The Miami rain battered the windows, a steady drumbeat matching his focus. "Mr. Morales, this is Bella Vista's manager," the voice said. "Your wife's here, causing a scene. She's demanding to know if you've been in contact with our staff." Jack's jaw tightened. Anna was escalating, chasing control. "I haven't spoken to anyone there," he replied. "Handle it as you see fit." He hung up, saving the call log. Ethan, his 22-year-old son, looked up from his laptop across the table, where he was refining code for his medical app, She's Spiraling. Ethan said, smirking. Jack nodded, pulling up Anna's latest credit card activity. Another charge at a downtown lounge, time-stamped last night. Diego Ruiz's social media showed him at the same spot, posting with a new client. Anna's affair was fraying, and she was lashing out. Jack sent a quick email to his lawyer, confirming the divorce terms. He'd keep his business assets. Anna could have the house, but the mortgage required his approval for any sale. He wasn't blocking her, just ensuring she couldn't rewrite their financial history. Sophia, Anna's friend with a conscience, called next. She's at Bella Vista, telling everyone you're spying on her, Sophia said, her voice low. She's accusing you of hacking her phone. Jack's lips twitched into a half-smile. He hadn't hacked anything. Anna's carelessness with her shared accounts gave him all the access he needed. Let her talk, he told Sophia. It's all noise. Sophia hesitated, then added, she's losing her friends. I told her she's wrong about you, and she didn't take it well. Jack thanked her and ended the call, saving the conversation as evidence. Ethan stood, stretching. I'm grabbing coffee. Want to hit that Cuban place down the street? Jack agreed, needing a break from the digital chess game. At the cafe, over cortaditos, Ethan pushed for more. You've got her cornered. What's the next play? Jack sipped his coffee, the bitterness grounding him. Nothing, he said. She's digging her own hole. I just keep living my life. Ethan raised his cup in approval. Respect. But she's not done yet. Back at the loft, Jack's phone pinged with a text from Anna. We need to talk. In person. He ignored it, focusing on a client's urgent server crash. Hours later, as he and Ethan tested a new firewall, the building's intercom buzzed. Mr. Morales. Anna Morales is here, the security guard said. Jack exchanged a glance with Ethan, who closed his laptop, ready for the showdown. Send her up, Jack said, his voice steady. Anna stepped off the elevator, rain-soaked and unsteady, her usual poise crumbling. She froze when she saw Ethan lounging on the couch, his presence an unexpected variable. Jack, we need to talk alone, she said, her voice tight. Jack leaned against the kitchen counter, arms crossed. Ethan's family. Say what you came to say. Anna's eyes darted between them, her plan unraveling. I saw you at that cafe today, she blurted. You're following me, aren't you? Digging into my life. Jack raised an eyebrow. I was getting coffee with my son. You're the one showing up at my place uninvited. Ethan watched, silent but alert, his coder's mind analyzing her every word. Anna pressed on, voice rising. You're making me look like the bad guy, Jack. I just want a fresh start. Jack stepped forward, his tone calm but cutting. You got your fresh start, Anna. Hotel receipts, Diego's texts, your card is condo. I've known for months. You want it out, so I'll let you go. Anna's face drained of color. She hadn't expected him to know, let alone lay it out so plainly. You spied on me, she stammered. Jack shook his head. You left a trail. I just saw it. Anna sank onto a chair, her hands trembling. It wasn't supposed to be like this, she said, almost to herself. Diego was a mistake. I thought you'd fight for us. Jack's gaze didn't waver. You chose him over us. I'm not fighting for someone who's already gone. Ethan shifted, his silence amplifying the tension. Anna's eyes welled up, but Jack stayed firm. You've got the divorce you wanted. What's left to discuss? She stood, unsteady, and walked to the door, pausing. I didn't think you'd be this cold. Jack opened the door for her. I'm not cold. I'm done. As the elevator doors closed, Ethan let out a low whistle. That was surgical, Dad. Jack exhaled, the adrenaline settling. Anna's confrontation had been her last attempt to reclaim the narrative, but Jack's truth had dismantled it. He reopened his laptop, diving back into the client-server issue, while Ethan resumed coding. The rain outside slowed, and Jack felt the first real calm since signing those papers. Anna's world was cracking, but his was just beginning to take shape. Jack Morales woke to the hum of his phone, a notification from his bank confirming a wire transfer, a new contract with a Miami fintech startup, his biggest yet. He glanced at Ethan, still asleep in the guest room of the Brickell loft, his laptop open from a late-night coding session. Jack brewed coffee and checked his email, finding a message from his lawyer. Anna had filed the divorce papers, but her attempt to list the house for sale hit a snag. Jack's signature was required for the deed transfer. He smirked, forwarding the email to his accountant to ensure his assets stayed secure. At noon, Sophia called, her voice urgent. Anna's losing it, Jack. She's telling everyone you're sabotaging her life. Jack leaned back in his chair, the city skyline sharp beyond the window. She's trying to sell the house without my sign-off, he said. That's on her. Sophia sighed. She's alienating everyone. Even her book club canceled their meeting. She showed up drunk last night, ranting about you. Jack saved the call details, noting Anna's unraveling was accelerating. He thanked Sophia and hung up, focusing on a client's ransomware defense plan. Ethan emerged, grabbing a coffee. "What's the latest on Anna's meltdown?" he asked, skimming his app's analytics. Jack shared Sophia's update and the lawyer's email. Ethan chuckled. She thought she'd walk away clean. Now she's stuck. Jack nodded, pulling up Anna's latest credit card charges. More late-night bar tabs, no sign of Diego Ruiz. Social media confirmed the trainer had moved on, posting gym selfies with a new client. Anna's world was shrinking, her allies dwindling. That afternoon, Jack and Ethan hit a South Beach deli for lunch, discussing Ethan's plan to scale his medical app. A text from Anna interrupted. "Why won't you sign the house papers? You're ruining me." Jack replied, "Talk to my lawyer." Terms were clear. He pocketed his phone, refusing to engage further. Ethan raised an eyebrow. "She's desperate now. What's your limit?" Jack shrugged. "I'm not punishing her. She's doing that herself." They returned to the loft, diving into their projects, Jack locking down a client's cloud security, Ethan tweaking his app's UI. By evening, a call from an unknown number lit up Jack's phone. It was Rachel, another of Anna's friends, her voice hushed. "Jack, Anna's telling people you hacked her accounts to frame her. She's meeting a lawyer tomorrow to fight the divorce terms." Jack's fingers tightened around the phone. "She could try," he said. "I've got records of every charge, every text, all legal." Rachel hesitated. "I thought you should know. She's saying Diego was a setup, that you push her into it." Jack laughed softly. "She's creative. Thanks for the heads up." He saved the call, adding it to his growing file of evidence. Ethan, overhearing, shook his head. "She's rewriting reality now. You gonna shut that down?" Jack opened his laptop, pulling up the cloud backup of Anna's deleted messages. Flirty exchanges with Diego, plans for hotel meetups. "Not yet," he said. "Her lies will collapse under scrutiny." He sent a summary of Rachel's call to his lawyer, who replied instantly. "Her claims won't hold up. Keep your distance." Jack complied, focusing on a new client pitch, his calm a stark contrast to Anna's chaos. The next morning, Jack's phone buzzed with a voicemail from Anna, left at 2 a.m. Her voice was shaky, slurred. "Jack, I messed up. Can we just talk? I can't lose everything." He saved the message, but didn't respond, instead finalizing the fintech contract, worth 6 figures. Ethan, reviewing his app's beta feedback, looked up. "She's begging now. You softening?" Jack shook his head. "She's not sorry. She's scared. There's a difference." Ethan nodded, impressed by his father's resolve. Sophia texted later, reporting Anna's latest brunch meltdown. "She told everyone you're blackmailing her with fake evidence." Half the table walked out. Jack saved the text, sensing the tide turning. Anna's social circle, once her stage, was now her jury, and they were losing patience. He and Ethan spent the evening coding together, Jack refining a client's network script, Ethan optimizing his app's database. The loft buzzed with productivity, a stark contrast to Anna's unraveling narrative. Jack's phone stayed quiet, but he knew the silence wouldn't last. Anna's next move was coming, and he was ready. Jack Morales finalized a cybersecurity audit for his fintech client, the contract's ink barely dry as his bank account swelled. His Brickell loft, now a hub of focus, hummed with the quiet clicks of Ethan's keyboard as his son debugged his medical app's payment system. A text from Jack's lawyer popped up. Anna's attempt to contest the divorce terms had collapsed. Her claims of blackmail lacked evidence, and the judge upheld the original agreement. Jack forwarded the message to Ethan, who grinned. "She's out of moves." Sophia called, her voice clipped. "Anna's done at Bella Vista. She showed up today, accusing everyone of betraying her. The manager banned her." Jack saved the call log, noting Anna's isolation was nearly complete. Her social media, once a curated showcase of brunches and yoga poses, was dormant. No posts, no stories. A quick check of Diego Ruiz's profile showed him in Cancun with a new client, his mentions of Anna erased. Jack closed his laptop, satisfied. Anna's world was crumbling under the weight of her own choices. That afternoon, Jack and Ethan met with a potential investor for Ethan's app at a Wynwood cafe. The investor, impressed by Ethan's pitch, offered seed funding on the spot. Jack watched his son negotiate with confidence, a spark of pride cutting through his usual reserve. As they left, Ethan's phone buzzed, a call from Linda, his mother in Phoenix. She heard about Anna's meltdown, Ethan said, putting her on speaker. Jack, you okay? Linda asked. Better than ever, Jack replied. Ethan's keeping me grounded. Linda laughed. Good. Anna's loss is your gain. Back at the loft, Jack's phone lit up with an email from the real estate agent handling the house. Anna had tried to list it again, but without Jack's signature, the deal stalled. The agent noted Anna's erratic behavior, missed appointments, vague excuses. Jack replied, authorizing a sale only if Anna covered the closing costs, a condition he knew she couldn't meet with her mounting credit card debt. He wasn't vindictive. He just ensured her impulsiveness had consequences. A knock at the loft door interrupted their evening coding session. Jack opened it to find Anna, eyes red, clutching a folder. Ethan stayed on the couch, his presence a silent anchor. Jack, I need you to sign the house papers, Anna said, her voice brittle. I can't afford it alone. Jack took the folder, scanning the documents. You agreed to take the house, he said. My lawyer sent you the terms. Anna's hands shook. I didn't think it would be like this. Diego's gone. My friends, nobody's talking to me. Jack set the folder down. You built this, Anna. Not me. She stepped closer, desperate. Can we fix this? I'll end the divorce. We can start over. Ethan's fingers paused on his keyboard, his gaze sharp. Jack shook his head. You ended us when you chose Diego. I'm not your fallback. Anna's shoulders slumped, the folder slipping from her hands. I thought I was in control, she whispered. Jack opened the door. You were wrong. She left without another word, the elevator's hum swallowing her exit. Ethan stood, stretching. That was the endgame, huh? Jack nodded, picking up the folder. She's free to live with her choices now. He tossed the papers into a drawer, closing it with finality. The next morning, Jack's lawyer confirmed the divorce was finalized. Anna kept the house, but the financial burden was hers. Jack's business assets, savings, and future were untouchable. He wired a bonus to his team, celebrating the fintech deal's success. Sophia texted, reporting Anna's move to a smaller apartment, her social circle reduced to a few loyalists who pitted her. Jack didn't respond, focusing instead on a new client pitch. Ethan extended his stay, their collaboration turning the loft into a startup incubator. Over dinner at a South Beach grill, Ethan raised his glass. To new beginnings, Dad. Jack clinked his glass, a rare smile breaking through. To building what matters. Jack's phone stayed quiet, Anna's attempts to reach him replaced by silence. He and Ethan spent the next week refining their projects, their bond stronger than ever. The Miami skyline glittered outside, a reminder of the life Jack had reclaimed. Anna faced her consequences, not through vengeance, but through the natural fallout of her actions. Jack, free from her chaos, looked forward, his path clear, his integrity intact.